We got Shannon Summers on the line from the ozone.net. Got to join him there and the rest of the staff for the very best in Ohio State football coverage. We bring on Shannon on a regular basis, Tony Gerdeman as well, to talk Ohio State football with the Buckeyes hitting the field at the Shoe on April 14th for the big spring game. The secondary play has been amongst the best in the country. The defensive line play has been amongst the best in the country. The linebacking play has been good, but not to the elite level of those other two units. Baron Browning's a guy that Buckeye fans are waiting to see break through. How would you assess the linebackers? And it seems to be a very important unit coming up in 2018.
Well, Baron Browning, he's right now penciled in for the middle linebacker. Tuff Borland suffered a Achilles injury. I believe last week Urban Meyer said that he's going to be out until September. I mean, does that mean that he's out from contact until September, or practice or whatnot? But Barron's going to be playing in the middle linebacker position right now. Justin Hilliard was splitting reps with him, but they put him on the outside. They have Pete Warner. There's a cast of others that are playing outside. They're getting guys learning each of the positions, mostly on the outside, because a lot of it's interchangeable. And the one benefit that Ohio State has is being able to have so much depth that they're not losing a lot when somebody is either injured or needs a play or a series off, that they're just changing and just being able to circulate parts, basically, because they have a plethora of talent on this team. Last year, the linebacker core seemed to take a dip, and then they brought Tuff Borland in, moved Chris Worley on the outside, and so they seem to get a little bit better. But hopefully that this unit just is going to step up and be better than what we've seen last year.
Hey, Shannon, is there anyone you'd like to see in particular this Saturday that gets you fired up to watch? Probably a player that's highly touted but hasn't necessarily been thrown into the fire yet and won't be in the spring game, but still would like to see maybe rise up and become a breakout player this year, or a group of players.
Well, I'd like to see with the wide receivers. I know a lot of the wide receivers have been being held back during the spring because of previous injuries or just allowing other players, so that these guys stay healthy. Some of the talent that's coming in, the secondary, some of the guys that just as far as keeping a rotation going. I mean, as far as specific players, I don't have anybody, just because it's just there's so many players to try to keep track of. But just the way that the spring games are, I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was Nick Collins, or can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but he was like, the best player in the field, went on to prom, that night, because he was still in high school or whatever, but he was enrolled at Ohio State early, went to his prom, was, the spring game MVP. And this past year he's had to retire from football because of injuries. So it's a lot of schools have this issue, and you try not to look too much into it when it comes to spring, but there's just certain things that you're trying to see as far as, what are they going to do offensively, as far as they're going to be a little bit aggressive. Because I think it was last year or 2 years ago, they were definitely the whole spring just trying to throw the ball deep, but it never transcribed in games and stuff.
Yeah, spring game MVP is not something that you want at the top of the resume. It's fine to get, but if it stays at the top of the resume, then there's a problem on down the line. Shannon Summers joins us from the ozone.net. Specifically, he's the director of the Ozone Radio Network, so you got to jump on there and find all the great audio there with Shannon, Tony Gerdeman, Joe Dexter, and the like, cranking out Ohio State football content for us and jumping on my show from time to time as well to keep me straight and the rest of us straight on the Buckeyes, with the spring game coming up on April the 14th. And we got Tony coming on actually on Thursday night. So we're going to keep the Buckeye talk going here at Mark Rogers TV. So Shannon, we appreciate you stopping by.
I appreciate you guys having me on. So thank you.